everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you are new to my channel, I'm Sam and this is my guitar and gear page, and today I'm taking everything, all of my effects and all that out of this Boss ME70 multi-guitar effects pedal. I bought this almost 10 years ago because I wanted to see if there was a difference, because I've always had these arguments with my guitar buddies, like, is there a difference between a multi-effects pedal that you can have all in one kind of a deal, or individual pedals? And so what I'd love to do today is I'd love to kind of walk through a little bit of this and what it would sound like compared next to even Boss. I have this pedal board and Pedal Train Nano pedal board of Boss pedals. Got the Super Overdrive, Distortion, Super Chorus, and the DD6 digital delay. And I'm going to put all of that up against this ME70. I'm going to run the ME70 straight from the recording out into my interface here into GarageBand, because it's got this preamp thing that is supposed to act like an amplifier. And then I'm going to run the pedals through my Fender Blues Jr. as clean as I possibly can get it, and try to match the amp settings and match the pedal settings to see if it sounds alike, or if not, and see which one sounds better. Because what I've heard over the years, and I've always kind of even said, is that the multi-effects pedal is a very digital reproduction of the stomp boxes individually, and they just can't, it just doesn't come close. It tries to remake the tone, but it just can't get there. Well, I want to see if I can prove that to be true or false today, okay? So that's what we're going to do. All the opening stuff, that was all through the ME70. So if you're thinking, oh my goodness, that sounded great, then maybe the pedals are going to sound even better, or maybe not. We'll see. I'm going to use everything through my Epiphone Les Paul here, and we'll see what happens. I was a little bit shocked, actually. The ME70 was a little smoother, to be honest. You probably heard it, like when I was using the pedals, there was just this innate like fuzziness to all of the distortion and the overdrive. No matter what I did to it to try to like make them match, there was just something about the pedals into the amp that it just didn't like it, and it was fizzing and making it fuzzy sounding. I tried to pull the drives back and the distortion back and the volumes up to use a little more natural driving of the amp and the tubes, and no matter what I did, there was just this fuzzy kind of a tone to it. Then I went into the ME70 and straight in, and all that fuzzy kind of tone just went away, and there was just this clean distortion, clear, like it was just smoother sounding. I don't know if it's the preamp section that they've put into it that makes it something in the EQ that makes it sound better. I don't know if they in the Cosm modeling stuff that they've got going on with their distortions and their overdrives, I don't know if they've dialed it in better. But here's the biggest difference. When I plug the ME70 into my amp versus the pedals, there's just something fake sounding about it. I can't put my finger on it. It doesn't respond the same way as my pedals do. It doesn't sound the same in the room as it does on the recording. That's for doggone sure. Like something sounds like it's trying to computerized reproduce something. And something just doesn't feel right when I'm playing. I'm just like, it's missing something. Now the fuzziness on the distortion and the overdrive, I could probably play with it a little bit and get it to there, but there's something about the pedals that it sounds that way versus the ME70. But even with the fuzziness, the pedals respond better to my playing, and it feels better through the amp. Even when I'm playing the ME70 through the amp, it feels better through the pedals. I can't put my finger on it. There's just something in the mid-lower range that, like when you play a run that's lower, when you palm mute or something, you can feel it's a rounded off sound versus the ME70s it sounds good, it just feels flat. And I think that's the argument against multi-effects pedals like this. It's like, man, it sounds okay, it feels flat. And in the recording, it doesn't sound like that. It sounds great. And I can tweak the ambiance to make it feel less flat. But in a room like this, through the same amp, it just fell flat. And I don't know what that is. I can't tell what that is. But if you're looking to just do what I did, record out through like a interface into your computer, and you were to want to play it like that, man, it sounds great. Like, I'm sure you can manipulate the sound post-production to make it sound like you want it to and make it even feel like you want it to. But if you're looking to play an ME70 live through an amplifier, you are not going to get the same response, the same feel as you would pedals straight in the amp. And I think it's because it's going through a processor, a digital processor, and all of your distortions and overdrives are digitally processed. They're not the way they are in your pedals. And so that's my take on it. Did I like the sounds I was getting out of the ME70? Yeah, I like the sounds, especially straight in the interface. It sounds great. It doesn't sound as fizzy. It's louder. It feels more present. But when you're playing in a room like this, there's something missing about the tone. And so if I'm looking to record something real quick and I want the sound and I'm going to do a lot of heavy post-production, I would go with the ME70 because I can get the tone that I want immediately. If I'm looking for the feel of playing my guitar and feeling the overdrives, feeling that thump, I'm going to play pedals through my amp and record it through a mic and try to get it before it gets to the post-production. So that's my take on it. Maybe you have a different take. I don't know, but that's just kind of how I feel about it. Now, if I were to put the ME70 up against my other stuff, like my Full Drive 2 or my MXR distortions or that kind of stuff, man, it wouldn't even be close. Those, because the quality of those distortions and overdrives and boosts are way better, and they're not fizzy sounding, and so you can really dig in. And maybe I'll do that in another video. I just want to compare Boss to Boss and see what would happen today. All right, thanks for watching. If you thought this was helpful, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and thanks so much for hanging out with me today. All right.